Hello, hello, my friends. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face and my card making space. And a fairly quick and easy card and video. I'm using a couple of the products from the Simon Says Stamp January 2026 release, the Heart to Heart release that I said in an earlier video. I got right before the release. So I'm going to be playing catch up and doing a whole bunch of content over the next couple weeks. Lots is coming. It's going to be fun. So I did some die cutting, very simple ink blending, squeezed in some splatter, and custom colored some ribbon to match. So it's going to be fun. I will have links to all the things in the description box below the video. My links are affiliate links. That just means that if you click on one of my links and end up placing an order, I do get a little kickback from that at no extra cost to you. That is what helps pay the bills, keeps the lights on, keeps my heaters running, and enables me to keep bringing out content. So yeah, let's get into making the card. So I started with the Falling Snow wafer die, which is an A2 panel die, so 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, and I die cut it from Lavender cardstock. And then to add a little extra depth and dimension, I started with Simon's Positively Saturated ink in Lilac, which right now on camera, you see it. You can see the ink. It looks like it's doing something. I'm just using this shade kind of to like prime the cardstock before I had the darker color. If I left it like this and just let it dry, you wouldn't see anything. Just like the million other times I've talked about it. These inks soften a bit and they dry back. And when you are ink blending on darker colors of cardstock, aka anything other than white cardstock, your colors of inks will look darker because they're wet. So I could use like a nearly clear ink, like something really pale. It will show up at first. It'll look fabulous and you'll have that darker bit. But when it fully dries, it basically will disappear. So over that, I blended the next shade darker, which was Orchid. It'll still soften a bit too, but I just wanted that little bit of depth. And then to amp it up, I am gluing this to a piece of glitter cardstock. Now, I'm usually a lot more conservative with my glitter cardstock. I save every little scrap, all the things. I happen to have quite a bit of this white glitter cardstock. So I cut a piece the same size as the background, and I'm gluing this on top, so then the little snow bits will show the white glitter. And adhering on top of glitter can be a bit of a pain, so I used a strong liquid adhesive, the craft tacky glue, and then glued it together, put a couple of heavy blocks on top of it, and just let it sit to dry. And then for another little embellishment, I used the newer Flourish Heart. Well, this is new too. A couple of things I used are older. Anyway, Flourish Heart Trio. Die cut them from the same cardstock. Did the same thing with ink blending, just to give them that little bit of depth. This dude was, I think, the last release. I think this was from the December release. This is the Flourish Bear. So, they kind of go together. They've got those little matchy, flourishy, pierced bits in them. And I very lightly blended that light purple shade, that lilac shade, onto him. Which, now that it's all done, it's like, I made his butt purple. It works. So, there's a die in that with that little bear that does that little black piece that does his nose and eye. Love that. So adhered those, set them aside. I wasn't going to add splatter, but then of course the splatter won out. So I put the background in my splat box, and I'm using Simon's Positively Perfect Black Splatter Medium. It needs to be stirred up. It doesn't look like it because this stuff is heavily pigmented. It still needs to be stirred up. And you can tell when you stir it, because when you're scraping at the bottom, that pigment still settles to the bottom, so it's there. So I very carefully stir this stuff up. I try to be very careful with it because I am very clumsy. And like I said, this stuff's very pigmented, and I don't even want to think about how awful it would be if I knocked that over. It would be a nightmare to try and clean up. So I splattered my background just lightly, and I set that aside. Now the ribbon. I'm going to use a re-inker to dye my ribbon. And while I was at it, I was like, might as well re-ink this ink pad to this lilac. This is the light purple shade. Because especially these light shades, I use a lot. Do a lot of ink blending with them, etc. And with dye reinkers, you don't need a whole lot. I just squeeze, as you can see, a decent amount. It immediately starts soaking in, and I work it in a little bit with the nozzle. I'm just not squeezing the nozzle of the reinker, and then I just let it sit. That's it. Doesn't need to be complicated. If it's a pigment ink, like oxide inks, pigment inks, etc., those are much thicker. You need to shake those up really well before you re-ink, and a lot of times you need to work it into the ink pad with like an old credit card, a gift card, that sort of a thing. And again, you don't need very much. Like reinkers, you should be able to re-ink your ink pad many, many times. So I re-inked it because it needed it, set it aside. And then I'll put a glove on one of my hands because this gets messy. And I don't mind getting ink on my hands, but when it's like a lot of color, it gets in the cuticles and, it just stains everything for a bit. And I just didn't want to deal with it. So I put a glove on one hand. I have some narrow seam binding ribbon, my re-inker, spray bottle of water, and my heat tool. And I've shown this many times over the years. In fact, I did a tutorial on split coat stampers close to 20 years ago. Because yeah, I've been dyeing ribbon for forever. Since I'm using a re-inker, I definitely want to add the water to it. Again, re-inkers have additives in them to prevent them from drying out in the ink pads. And if you just use straight re-inker on that ribbon, it would most likely never dry, or it would take forever, or it could transfer even after onto other things. So I add the water, and this part all with me like mushing it and adding the color, that was all in real time. It literally took me about 3 minutes to dye this ribbon because I just added a bit of the re-inker, the water. I purposely kept mushing it, as you could like scrunching it with my hand, because I like making this ribbon crinkly. It just adds to the texture. And then I just use my heat tool. The Ranger heat tool is really nice because it doesn't blow as much air, but it gives all the heat. And I have asbestos fingers, and with the glove, I'm not burning anything. But if you're like sensitive to the heat or it bothers you, I would just hold your ribbon on something heat safe, like a silicone mat, whatever. But the heat tool also just helps like really heat set that ink and dries everything. And that's it. Now my ribbon's dyed, and it's fun. And I don't worry about getting it perfectly even either. Like the color, you could. I would just maybe mix the re-inker with a little bit more with a bit of water and like get an even consistency and kind of press in the ribbon. Do whatever works. I kind of like the differentiation in the color. So back to what I was doing. Sentiment from the Label Slides Love and Friendship set. I white heat embossed it onto a piece of black cardstock. Anti-static powder tool, stamped the sentiment with clear embossing ink, white embossing powder, tapped off the excess, melted with my heat tool. To die cut it, I'm using the Label Slides wafer dies, because this is another set that coordinates with that die set that came out a while ago. And those dies, you can't see through them because they're not like an outline wafer die, because they also impress kind of a border along the top and bottom, just some extra detail. So since I stamped and embossed first, I just die cut a couple pieces of copy paper with the dies, and I just use that outline as a template. And those die cut outlines I'm going to put back in the packaging with the dies because I'll use them the next time I pull this set out. So then I was able to die cut my sentiment from the black cardstock with that wafer die, and then we'll come back to it in a second. I used another sentiment from that same set and stamped the inside of my card with it using Nocturne ink. And this card is standard A2 size, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. And then I adhered one of those die cut hearts to the inside, and that finished it off. And then to attach my sentiment to my card front, I'm using that ribbon, and I doubled it up. So run that through the little label slide, the holes on either side, and then wrap that around my card front. And then I'm going to tie this in a bow. It's another reason why I purposely make this crinkly, because then your bow doesn't have to be perfect. And like I said, it just adds extra texture. It's just fun. So once I made my bow, pulled everything tight, fiddled with it, fiddled with it some more till I was happy with it, you know? And then I pulled out yet again. I don't pulled up. I don't even put this set away. This is the Splendid Snowflakes die set. I've used this so many times I've lost track. I die cut the same white glitter cardstock with that die set. I'm adhering them to my background. And then the one heart and the little polar bear, I'm popping those up with just pieces of Big Mama foam tape, which I was totally off camera when I trimmed that, but popped a little bit of foam tape on the back. Nothing crazy. And then pressed those guys into place. And then adhered this to my card base. And then I'd put, again, a couple heavy, like my magnets and whatnot on top of it, held everything down, let the glue dry. And then my final little bit of embellishment is some Pawsitively Dazzling gems. These are the Prism ones. So they look clear, but they reflect that bit of color. So put a few of those onto the card front, and then I just pick them up with my embellishment wand and adhere them into place with little dabs of liquid glue. And then I just got to let the glue dry. And this card is complete. So very purple. So you could just switch up the colors. This would look really pretty in like aqua color, any color, honestly. But as usual, I was in a purple mood again. So purples and glitter and splatter and little flourishes and custom ribbon and all the things. So like I mentioned, everything I used will be listed and linked in the description box below the video, so you can check that out if you are interested. Thank you all so very much for hanging out with me, for thumbs upping and commenting. It helps a ton and I really appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to have you, and I will see you all very soon in the next video. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!